All right, Johnny, so it's that time. It's two snaps, and
That's
man,
right,
we've been
man.
waiting on this for a while now,
Yes,
man.
sir.
We've
Yes,
been
we
talking
have.
about one, coming to see this movie, and then getting a chance to review it, and man, I'm ready to get into it, man.
Same here, bro.
Ready
Same
to
here.
get into it, man. So I guess, like, for those who have not seen the movie yet, because this is the premiere,
That's right.
for those who've not seen the movie, just give them a little brief synopsis of what the film is about.
So you really telling me don't get no true spoilers?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So,
You know,
Michael,
you're good at spoiling the movie.
I am good at spoiling the
Yeah.
movie. I mean, I get excited, man. I get excited.
I know
about
this.
it.
I know this.
So, Michael Jackson biopic, Michael. This movie actually follows Michael, from my opinion, and I hope everybody else's, from his time from being a little kid getting into the music industry
With the Jackson 5.
with the Jackson 5 to becoming a solo artist of who we knew as Michael Jackson.
The biggest star in the world.
The biggest star in the world,
star in the
man.
world, man.
Biggest star in the world. And like I said, man, this movie really gave me that opportunity to go to a Michael Jackson concert.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up in the 80s, you know, watching his videos when they started playing, you know, listening to his music. You saw on the last podcast episode, I brought the first album out.
Yeah.
Brought
Off
the
the
first
wall.
album off the wall, man. You know, so I got plenty of Michael Jackson music at home, and I watched The Wiz all the time. And so, you know, this gave me the opportunity to actually be at a Michael Jackson concert.
Yeah. Man, it was definitely an experience being in the movie theater and watching this film, man. Like, you got to experience it with a crowd. The movie theater we were in, man, you got to see all the crowd participating in the song. Whenever they would play a Michael Jackson song, the crowd would get engaged and they start singing the songs.
Yes, man.
And stuff. And I mean, this was like one time I'm in the movie theater and I don't even mind
You
if
don't
people
mind
are shouting
people.
at the screen, man.
That's
because
right, man.
that's the experience you got from this film, man.
Yeah.
Because we all grew up on Michael Jackson's music, loved his music. Like, and again, he was the biggest star in the world.
Biggest star in the world, man.
And you got an inside glimpse of like who he was. And I'm glad that we got a chance to do a Be Kind Rewind on the Jacksons, an American Dream. Because it, like, when you take like both of those stories and you kind of put them together, you kind of get an inside glimpse.
Yes.
At a lot of the things that his upbringing.
Yeah.
How he came up and how he became the superstar that he eventually became.
And man, that was one of the things that I'm glad Antoine Fuqua did with this one, was because American Dream, you know, like you said, it showed the upbringing, it showed the birth of the Jackson 5 and the whole family. But this right here really centered on Michael and everything that he was doing. And, you know, you still seen that family dynamic. You seen how Joe Jackson was, but it wasn't so much focused on that and the whole family as a whole. It was more focused on Michael and him becoming that solo artist.
Yes.
So man, I really, really enjoyed that.
Yes. Now, so what were some of your favorite takeaways from the film? What were some of your favorite moments?
Oh man, one of my favorite moments is when he was sitting in the office at CBS talking to the CEO of the company.
Yes.
And he
wasn't he played by Mike Myers?
Was that Mike Myers?
I think that was Mike Myers, man.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at that.
Yeah,
it could have been.
That was Mike
Myers was in this movie.
I think that was Mike Myers.
So that might have
man.
been Mike Myers, man.
I didn't recognize him at first either.
I didn't recognize him either, man.
But then when I saw the credits, I was like, hold up, Mike Myers?
Yeah, I do know he was in the movie, but I didn't pay that part any attention that being him. But when Mike wanted his songs to be played on MTV, and he knew that if he got on MTV, he would become the biggest star in the world. Yes.
That was his goal, man.
You know,
to become the biggest star in the world.
You know, and when the CEO called over to MTV and told him, if you don't play Billie Jean in the next, 10 minutes, I'm pulling all CBS artists off of MTV.
Yep.
And that right there did it.
Yes.
That opened the door for Mike. That opened up the door for a lot of other African American artists to be on MTV, man, and to do, have that crossover.
Yes.
You know, that was one of them. And then another one when Mike was standing on top of the car.
Yes.
And you see all those people, man.
Yes.
I mean, thousands of people in the middle of the street, bro.
That was crazy. That's how people flocked to this man.
Man, that was crazy, bro.
Again, we talked about it. People passing out just from getting a glimpse of this man.
Yes.
Like how you did in the theater, man. You know. I'm sorry.
Y'all see my face.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Thank you, producers. But yeah, like, but people would pass out just from getting a glimpse of Michael Jackson.
Yes,
man.
they would.
And I mean, it's just, it was insane, man.
Yeah, man. I loved how, you know, even when he was in the hospital in the burn unit, how he paid attention to the other patients that was in the burn unit, and you know, he told his attorney that all the money that he got back from the lawsuit against Pepsi for the burn, he wanted to donate all that to that burn unit at that hospital. That was something great that I took away from the film. I don't want to give too much, so what about you?
Yeah. Oh man, same here. So like there were like a bunch of moments that I really enjoyed about the film, but like I think for me overall, it was just the experience and, getting a chance to experience it with the crowd, and it did kind of feel like you were at a concert.
Yes,
you know,
really
like
did.
we never got a chance to see Mike perform live, man, and so it was really cool to see him on stage. Yeah, see Jaafar like kind of embody this role, man.
Not
like,
no kind of embody.
Like he embodied this role.
He embodied
man.
his uncle, dude.
Like, man, it's and we'll talk about that in just a little bit.
Okay.
One thing I do want to bring up before we get into that is like, you know, like as we've kind of talked about a little bit earlier, man. In terms of the critics and the ratings for this, like Rotten Tomatoes score. It started at 27. I think now it's up to like about a 40. It's like at 40% now.
Yeah,
hold on.
Okay.
It's like at 40% from the critics, but it just broke a record for the audience score. It's like 96% for a biopic. It sits at 96%, which breaks the record for an audience for a biopic. And then the cinema score is actually an A. Yeah. They have an A audience score for a cinema score.
That's right.
So despite the critics, people are flocking out to see this film, and they are enjoying this film.
Yes, they are, man. You know, and that tells you something. The popular opinion versus the opinion of just a few means nothing. Yeah, it means nothing.
And it's all subjective. Of course, it's all subjective. And I've read a lot of the reviews, and some of them I understand kind of what their points were. Okay, that they brought up. And I'll talk about that a little bit when we start giving our final verdict. Okay, but. I mean, you know, there's nothing like an audience, because it's all about the movie-going experience, and the audiences are loving this movie.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are, man. Another thing that I took away from this film, man, was it was so funny how there's a part in the film, I am going to give you this, where Mike is sitting in a pool. He's in the pool on a floaty. All the brothers are around, and they're talking to Mike. Mike was just seeming like he's meditating, and his brother's asking what's going on, and Mike said he's sitting there listening to the creator, because he was waiting for the creator to drop him a song, because he had to pay attention and wait, because he didn't want him to give it to Prince. Now that was so funny to me, man, to even see that you know, even in this movie, that they showed just that tad bit of the relationship between Michael and Prince, because they were on two totally different spectrums, man. They was on two totally ends of the spectrum.
They were in their own lane.
You know definitely in their own lane.
And they were competitive. They were very competitive with each other. Now let me ask you this: how ironic is it that this movie comes out during the week of the anniversary of Prince passing?
Man, that's we talked about that earlier off camera, and when you said that, I didn't really realize that this the anniversary was just a few days ago. But I think it's just a coincidence.
It's a coincidence, but you know how petty they both were.
Oh yeah,
they were both very petty.
Oh yeah, but I don't think, I truly don't think that the producers of this amazing biopic would be that petty to even say we're gonna put this out around the anniversary of Prince's death. I think that we should honor both. Yes, Prince and Michael Jackson, and I should say Mr. Fuqua, you should do a Prince biopic, if that's the case.
So let's do this.
Let's talk Prince biopic.
Let's talk about the the standout moments, or whatever. So or takeaways. Like one thing I want to talk about are the performances. Colman Domingo, he really embodied Joe Jackson. Yes. He did such a great job, man. He was very menacing.
Yes, he was.
Man, scary at times.
Scary, man. Yes.
But like, man, very domineering too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nia Long did a great job as Catherine.
Man, the walk, everything. She had Catherine down.
She had her
dude.
down, her mannerisms
Yes.
and everything. But man, I really want to talk about the young kid that played young Michael Jackson.
Yes, man.
Giuliano Valdi, I think is his name,
Giuliano Valdi.
Man, this kid was so great in this role,
Man,
man.
he was amazing in this
And I don't
role.
think people are talking about him enough, man.
No,
But
they're not. They're not.
His future is bright.
Oh,
man.
yes, sir. That's the one thing I said to myself as watching him on the screen. I said, this young man has a very bright future in this industry.
I can't wait to see, what he does
see
next.
him in more things.
Yeah,
man.
same here, man.
Yeah.
Same here.
Now, you know, speaking on the cast, Jaafar Jackson.
Man, I will say this. Everything. Now, one thing that critics did get right, I give them this. They said two things about this film. They said you can't deny the roles of Colman Domingo as Joe Jackson, and you cannot deny Jaafar Jackson as his uncle, Michael Jackson.
Yes.
He truly embodied this role.
Yes.
He became his uncle. Like, I'm telling you, at times when you would just listening to him talk, man, how he got the voice down.
Yes.
Because a lot of times when you hear people talk like Michael Jackson, it sounds like an imitation, or it sounds like a parody.
Yes.
But he really embodied. He sounded just like him.
Man, I read where he studied his uncle, movements, dancing, everything for 3.5 years to get this role down.
He had him down, man.
He had him down, dude.
He had him down.
Had him down. I mean,
he was so good in this role. I mean, it was literally like watching Michael Jackson on screen.
Yes, it was, man.
Again.
And I knew I was at a movie.
Yeah.
I knew I was at a movie, but it was times
Yeah.
when Jaafar would be, you know, singing and dancing, and I literally thought that was Michael Jackson for a second there.
Yes.
I mean, I could not believe it. He did such a great job. Yes. Now, the only thing I am concerned about when it comes to Jaafar, now we know he's a singer. Yes. I've heard his music, but if he wants to continue as an actor,
and that's the thing I was wondering about too.
What type of roles would he get after this?
I would imagine. Okay, so it really depends, because like, and it's still very early. It's still very early. There's a lot of films to be released. But you know, based on these performances, you know, they could possibly be, you know, nominated for an Oscar or an Academy Award.
Definitely, I can see that.
Now, again, it's the difference between the critics and the audience.
Yeah.
You know, so critics are the ones who, you know, choose a lot of the nominees and everything like that. But if he gets an Oscar nomination, I don't think you can deny him from anything else. You can't. I mean, either way, I think like whatever he wants to do at this point, he should be. He should be able to do it. You know, and do what he wants to do.
You know, that's the one thing that I hope for him. But I am a little leery because I think a lot of people are only gonna see him as Michael.
But you know what this does though? It makes me want to see him more, and in more projects, various projects, to see just what he can do, what he's capable of.
Well, if that, you know, I definitely do too. So whatever, they need to get him in some more movies before a part 2 comes out.
Yeah.
Because if a part 2 comes out before he gets any significant roles,
he might get stuck.
He's gonna get stuck as being Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And I do not want that for him because he is his own person.
Yeah.
I mean, again, he did a great job as his uncle, an amazing, phenomenal job as his uncle. He deserves awards for it. I can see him coming, especially the nominations.
Yeah.
But I don't want him to be typecast as he can only play Michael Jackson.
Facts. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. So, you know, this is 2 snaps.
This is 2 snaps, and I wanted to give y'all so much more.
There's a lot
Bruce
we can talk about, but we got to get into it. Like, what are your thoughts on the film, and then what do you give it?
Man, as of right now, this film is one of my favorite films of the year.
Okay.
I am hoping this film gets nominated for a ton of awards. I hope that Jaafar, Colman Domingo, even the young Giuliano win some awards, get nominated for some stuff. I have high hopes for this film. That $1 billion that we talked about, I see it making it. I definitely see it making it. So please go see it. Come here to the Lux if you are in the area. But wherever you are,
don't go where I went.
Don't go where Bruce went. Send me a message, DM me. I'll let you know where he went so you don't go there. But again, everybody needs to go watch this film. Watch this film, support this film. And for me, I definitely give it 2 snaps.
Okay.
I definitely give it 2 snaps.
2 snaps. All right. So
100% 2 snaps, bro.
So it's my turn, right?
It's your turn. Oh,
Okay.
Lord. Oh, no, I believe you. I believe you. I got hope.
Hold on, man. Let me get into it. So I'm gonna just talk about the things that I'm not gonna say that I didn't like,
Okay.
but I would have liked to see
Man,
more.
let me get a sip.
Get a sip. So I thought the performances were excellent.
Okay.
It definitely gave us an inside glimpse or look into Michael Jackson, his upbringing. Again, Colman Domingo was excellent. He was excellent. One thing that I wish they would have done a little bit more with his character was like show a little bit more of his humanity.
Michael's or
Joe.
Colman?
Joe.
Oh, okay, so Joe. Okay.
Joe. Because like if you and that's why I'm glad we did a Be Kind Rewind on the Jackson's American Dream, because even in that one, Joe was hard, but he did show some sense of humanity at times. He had moments.
He had moments.
He had moments when he would tell them like you can do like like he had moments like. But this portrayal, like it was amazing. And that's how he was written. For this film. So I don't have a problem with that. But I just wish they would have showed more of the I don't know, just like because we talked about it on the last show. Like sometimes fathers can just be tough and but that's kind of how they are.
I wonder,
we never really saw that from him though.
Yeah, and I wonder if the reason being is when he was alive, he probably had a little bit more influence on what the film was or his character was, or his family couldn't say as much as how they wanted the character to be portrayed. And now that he's gone and they are executive producers on this film, they could really, give a little bit more of who their father truly was and how they saw him. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
But I mean, but when I hear them do interviews, like I saw Colman Domingo and Nia Long do an interview, and they were talking about, showing a difference of how their relationship was loving, and like the relationship between Katherine and Joe was more loving.
Oh yeah,
and a lot of times, but they didn't necessarily show that in the film.
Didn't.
And I wish we would have saw a little bit more of that. That's
Okay.
I mean, these are
I agree with
little,
that 100%.
Just little things. The other thing was. Just seeing, I wanted to see, like Michael was the biggest pop star ever. I would have liked to see more about like how he wrote his songs, like the creativity, what all went into it. A little bit more with the albums, like Off the Wall and Thriller, because it seemed like we just got a little glimpse. And I know like with a 2-hour movie, there's only so much you can put in, like compared to a miniseries where you got 4 hours. So you got more time. And it just, and I guess that's just a fan of me because I'm wanting to see more, you know what I mean? But I would have loved to see more of like just Michael's creativity, how he went about writing the songs, how he came up with the song titles and the album titles and all this kind of stuff, and just seeing a little bit more of that. I do like one thing I wanted to point it out in terms of like some of the reviews I read from critics why they didn't like the film. They said that it weighed very heavily on the performances, which I really enjoyed because it took me back to a place. And the one thing is that it never really showed you, like it told a lot of things that we already knew about Michael, whereas a film like Ray, we found out a lot about Ray. We never went like he was able to get down and dirty with it. Like we saw a side of Ray we never got a chance to see. So you don't necessarily get that from this film at all. It's just a straight up film, but it's like the performances and everything in it was great, man. And I said it in my review, if you're a Michael Jackson fan, you're gonna love this movie because it truly takes you back to that time when he was putting out music, and it does make you feel as if you're in the concert. You're watching him because Jafar's performance is just that great. He's amazing in the role. And so those are just my thoughts. Like I just wish they would have went a little bit deeper with the story, but I understand this, the executive producers are the family. So they're probably not gonna show a lot of stuff, but I would like to have seen like a lot about, like I've heard a lot about Mike's relationships that he's had in the past, and like just going a little bit like deeper into that.
See his girlfriend,
hey, man,
trying to see what the
girlfriend I've heard,
like.
we've heard stories about him actually having a deep speaking voice, and like the reasons behind why like talk like the way he talked,
Yeah.
you know, with the higher voice, like because there's reasons behind that.
Oh yeah, them girls love that high pitched voice from him.
I would have loved to have seen like all those stories being told, but again, there's only so much time you can give to it. So I've rambled on enough.
Okay,
like it's time for me to give my thought. But that's it. Like, you know, those are like some little small nitpicks or whatever. Like I just wanted to see, as a fan, I just wanted to see a little bit more.
Okay.
But it's time for my verdict.
Okay.
And I can't do it justice.
You can't do it justice.
I can't do it justice
What you
without
mean?
doing this first. I got to pull this out.
Lord, look at the man.
I got to pull this out.
He got the
in order
glove.
to do.
You got. Oh, look at him.
In order to do this.
In order to. Okay.
So, for the Michael biopic,
Okay.
even despite all that I said,
Okay.
I got to give it
Ooh.
2 snaps. Two snaps on
2
it.
snaps. That's
2
what's
snaps.
up, man.
I give this movie 2 snaps, man. Again, it's like the performances, everything. I really enjoyed it. Like Jaafar, Domingo, Colman Domingo, Giuliano, Nia Long, everything was excellent. Can't talk enough about the job that Antoine Fuqua did directing this film. Like he really captured. Recreating a lot of those famous moments that we know Michael Jackson for.
Yes.
And I'm like, if they do a part 2, I'm excited about it. And I know, you know, a lot of people are, again, critics were talking about the allegations and why those weren't in this film. Well, the film stops in 1989.
Yeah.
It stops in 1989. So this is only a brief portion of Michael Jackson's life. I'm sure in the second
Part 2.
movie or whatever they do,
Yeah.
like we'll get another glimpse at his life or that portion of his life.
Yeah.
But, hey, for me, it's a complete movie. We get to see Michael. I was about to say Michael Jordan.
Hey,
I'm sorry. That's another.
That's another
GOAT,
great
though.
MJ.
But we get to see Michael Jackson at this stage in his life, at his highest moments, and it's a 2 snaps for me, man.
Oh man, that's what's up.
Yeah.
2 snaps. Look at that.
2
We
snaps.
agreeing. It
Man.
took Michael to really bring us together.
That's it, man. That's it. So that's it for this week's 2 snaps, man. But yeah, let us know what you guys think. Send us an email and leave us your thoughts in the comments.
That's right.
Yep.